Good morning. Welcome to our 10:30 Kids Story Time. I think I'm probably a minute or two late today. Sorry about that. Hey, I wanted to talk to you just for a couple minutes about being teachable and remembering what you've been taught. Do you realize if you're 10 years old, uh, even if you're 5 years old, somebody at some point early in your life taught you how to use a spoon? And probably the person that taught you how to use a spoon is your mother. And if you didn't know how to use a spoon, that would probably mean you don't know how to use a fork or a knife or any of those things. And if you don't know how to use silverware, you'd look pretty ridiculous if you went to school and you said, "What's that? What's that round thing that everybody's holding in their hand?" And you looked at them and you tried your best, and man, you'd have food on your forehead and on the side on your neck, and you might throw it over your shoulder and get the kid behind you. I mean, if you didn't know how to use a spoon, you need to be thanking your mom today for teaching you things like that. We remember things that were taught. I remember when I was a young boy, I have 5 brothers and sisters, 2 older and 3 younger, and so I was kind of right in the middle. But when my mom would go to me baking a cake and mixing everything together in the mixer, and the little beaters that went in the mixer, I mean the spoon, the bowl, we all wanted part of that chocolate cake mix. All on that in that mixing bowl, you take your finger and lick all that out. Man, that was good stuff. Well, and because there were so many of us kids, you might one time get the spoon. And I don't know how my mom remembered, but she'd say, "Oh no, you got the bowl last time. You don't get the bowl this time." And I'd get a smaller portion rather than the bowl. And boy, whichever brother or sister got the biggest the bowl, they'd kind of grin at you like, "Yeah, it's all mine." And boy, those were good memories. Yeah, I remember going to Sunday school at church on Sunday morning and being taught a lot of different Bible stories. Yesterday in our sermon time at our church, we shared the story where God let Abraham know that he was coming and he was going to destroy Sodom and Gomorrah for the wickedness that was there. And Abraham said, "What if I find 50 righteous?" And God said, "I'd spare it." And then Abraham went, "How about 45? Yes, I'll spare it. 40, I'll spare it. 30, I'll spare it. 20, I'll spare it." And then Abraham said, "Just let me ask one more time. If we find 10 righteous, 10 that are living right there, will you spare it?" And God said he would. The problem was there wasn't 10 found there. That's a sad thought, that in that whole city there wasn't 10 people living right before God. It's sad. That's just one Bible story of thousands that are there in the Bible. And so I want to read just a couple of verses to you from Deuteronomy chapter 6. Deuteronomy 6, verse 6 says, "And these words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart." See, God says, whatever I say, you tuck it away in your heart. Just like those Bible stories. If you ask your mom or dad about a Bible story, they probably can tell you one that's been tucked away in their heart. The next verse says, "And thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in thine house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up." And so when you're laying down at night, when you're getting up in the morning, when you're sitting around the house, when you're going driving somewhere, when you're walking somewhere, anytime, day and night, God says, you talk about my word and the stories that are in my word, because there's lessons to be learned there. So tune in, continue to tune in, because there are lessons to be learned every day as we consider a different Bible story or a lesson from our lives, a lesson from my past when I was a boy. And so have a good day, and be careful how you use that spoon, and be sure to hug your mom and say, "Thanks, Mom, for teaching me how to use a spoon." Have a good day.